There's that fucking bug again. I got him. It's gone again. Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it's RJ, and today we'll be taking a look at the Medicos super action statue Josuke Higashikata. Starting with articulation, Josuke's head is on a ball peg, allowing him to look all around town, as well as up and down. Ball joint for the base of the neck. A very tight and very creaky joint for the shoulders. This may be a first for the channel. Watch a figure explode live on camera. Another hinge for the shoulders. Double jointed elbows as well as a swivel. Hinge for the wrists, not as limited as Jotaro's. Ball joint for the chest. Swivel at the midsection. This is not an articulation point, but something of note. If you pose the legs too far out, this is going to happen. But there is a ball joint as well as a cut for the legs. Double hinge knees. Hinge for the ankles. Kinda ankle rocker. Not kinda, that's definitely there. Also a toe hinge, but it's limited because shoes. Moving on to detail and starting with Josuke's head, as you can see, he has the fashion sense of a nice juicy steak. Turning him around, there's this very nice, very deep seam in the back of his head, which makes his hair look like a tongue-shaped hat. There's two fringes coming out of the back of the hair. I'm not a fan of the way the skin is painted. He looks like he has a very nasty sunburn, especially on some of the alternate hands. He also looks a lot smugger than I remember him in the manga. He kind of looks off-model here. Two earrings are sculpted and painted very nicely. Musculature jutting out of the neck looks kind of awkward, but oh well. Golden jewelry all throughout his uniform. We have these golden wristbands. These pins on his neck. This one's an anchor. This is a heart. This is a peace sign, just in case those of you in the audience have never seen symbols before in your life. Two zippers in his undershirt. I don't know why. Some golden buttons running down the front of the uniform. Wrinkling all throughout. Very detailed. Especially on the back of the pants. Some glossy green shoes with golden accenting. And overall, the way the figure's shaded, he kind of looks dirty. Like the shading almost has a kind of brown wash to it. So Josuke has been mucking around in dirty water, which is great. Moving on to accessories, here we have Josuke's alternate yelling face. Or at least that's what I'm assuming the effect was. The eyes are a little bit too close for it to be a proper stand rush face. So he's probably just yelling about spaghetti. As you can see, there's another molding line in the hair. Also present on the back. To at least be fair, it is painted very nicely. I'm just not a fan of the way the expression looks. We have yet again more sets of incongruent hands. I'm not quite sure what Medicos' deal is, but anyway. Up top, we have the two hands for Josuke's signature pose. One relaxed, splayed out hand. One pointing hand with the thumb curled outwards. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be, but as a correction for my last video, this is not identical to the one that Jotaro has. The fingers are pointed more outwards on this one, where on his they're pointed inwards. Well, the pose doesn't really make sense. These are used for holding Josuke's binoculars. Kinda like this, but less shitty. We have this, which I haven't the faintest idea what this is actually used for. And finally, we have another pointing hand. For something with a little bit more utility, as you can see, Josuke's coat has a very nice cut down the middle. This is not just aesthetic, as you can see. These plug out and can be replaced with more splayed out coattails, I guess you'd call them. And this is to more efficiently utilize Josuke's leg articulation. Next up, we have this very bland looking gold jewelry. I personally like the J. The wrist cuffs I could do without, but the option is there. To attach them to the figure, you simply hook them around the figure's wrist, and they sit there and look incredibly mediocre. They don't even look how they're supposed to look, but oh well, the option is there for you. So I'm just going to take them off. To apply the J, as you can see, there's this raised hook section on the back, and you simply hook it into the figure's lapel like that. I personally think it looks much nicer than the wrist cuffs, and it sits snugly on the figure's uniform. It also fits with the rest of the jewelry. Finally, as far as more traditional accessories are concerned, we have Josuke's school bag. There's some very nice blue shading all throughout. The buckle and bands up front are painted a nice metallic gold. There's some very fine detailing all throughout. It looks like a school bag. And overall, I would give it a school bag out of 10. Finally, for accessories, we have the standard Medicos fare. 3-jointed stand with a base that pries apart. And to insert it into the figure, you simply slot it into his back. Graceful. For packaging, here we have Josuke's box. As you can see, Josuke Higashikata. That usual text. As you can see, it's very glossy. Surprise, I have hands, as you can see by the reflection in the box. Picture of the prototype with some glossy detailing around him. More pictures of the figure along with its accessories. The same exact picture. We got this on the bottom and this on the top, and I'm presuming this once again is the Medicos logo. So overall, execution is a little bit underwhelming. This is still a solid release from Medicos. The articulation, while a little bit limited, is still serviceable. The detailing is very nice, even if Josuke does look a little bit off model. The accessories are serviceable, while some of them kinda are garbage. And once again, the box is very pretty, but it's probably going to sit in a closet. So for fans of Araki's most well-written JoJo, this is definitely a figure you're going to want to pick up.